Hello and welcome to Real Watchers Movie Club. My name is Garrett.
And I'm Kevin.
And we are your hosts. Movie Club is a show where we pick a movie every week and discuss it just like a book club. On today's show, we are continuing our July month-long theme of looking at movies that are older than the 1940s. And our film this week is the 1939 political drama, Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. Our thoughts and more are coming up on Movie Club. Released in 1939, Mr. Smith Goes to Washington was directed by Frank Capra and stars James Stewart, Claude Rains, and Jean Arthur. After the death of a United States senator, idealistic Jefferson Smith is appointed as his replacement in Washington. Soon, the naive and earnest new senator has to battle political corruption. The film is currently ranked 219 on IMDb's Top 250 and has a 4.1 out of 5 on Letterboxd, and is ranked 492 on its top 500. The film was nominated for 10 Academy Awards, including a Best Original Score, Best Sound, Best Film Editing, Best Art Direction, Best Screenplay, Best Supporting Actor for Claude Rains, Best Supporting Actor for Harry Carey, Best Actor for James Stewart, Best Director, and Best Picture. It won 1 Academy Award for Best Original Story. Before we dive into our thoughts, though, we do want to issue a spoiler warning. We will be discussing plot points, twists, revelations, and all those wonderful things that happen in the course of the movie, and we do not want to ruin it for you. So make sure you watch the movie first, then come back. You're not going to offend us, don't worry. But stay tuned to the end of the show to find out what movie we're covering next week, because we're flipping genres once again. Alrighty, Kevin, we are here this week with Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, my pick for this week. And I picked it simply because it's a movie that I always hear the title of. It's just one of those movies that's always existed and I've never actually seen. And I love me some Jimmy Stewart. I mean, who doesn't? But we are here. What did you think?
Yeah.
Was this your first time watching it? Have you heard anything about it before? What you got going on?
Nope, I didn't know Mr. Smith needed to go to Washington. But after this movie, it changed some stuff about... I know James Stewart is a fantastic actor in any movie that we've seen of him, but just almost solidifies him as one of the best ones before, like in the early days of cinema, I feel like.
Yeah, definitely a great actor. I mean, I always appreciated his work with Alfred Hitchcock, probably the best, like Rope and Rear Window, Vertigo, right? So really nice to see him in a movie kind of more like this. And I mean, gotta be honest, it's got one of my favorite actors ever of all time in it, Mr. Claude Rains, who plays the other senator for his state. Man, Claude can rain down on me. You know what I'm saying? But no, I think I had heard this movie several different times. It's one of those movies that's always brought up in terms of like classic film. So was excited to actually finally check it out. And I think it was interesting, right? Because I don't know when you watched this movie, but I watched this on the 4th of July. Which I wasn't planning on doing anything patriotic that day. I ended up watching a movie that is pretty damn patriotic. So you know what? I guess something comes through anyway. But I mean, overall, I thought this was a very good movie.
Oh yeah, I thought it was very good as well. And I liked the kind of the ins of the government and how being a senator is how they explain that a little bit. Because to be honest, I don't really know what a senator does or anything like that. So it was kind of interesting to see a kind of little town senator get put into the big leagues. That's what I kind of put it as. And I just really liked how it doesn't fade away from the character, James's character, as being a hometown boy kind of a person and really wanting what it is. I put in my review that it is a movie about trying to change things, and you can't change things if they don't want to be changed. That's what I got from this movie too. But if you sway yourself enough, might be able to change.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Not even that doesn't want to change. It's that it's too much money is invested in the other side of it. The corruption is definitely the problem, right? But kind of diving in, I was really refreshed to see that this was decidedly nonpartisan. Like it wasn't. It's not exactly clear who's who. Like it's not like the main character is a Democrat or a Republican. It doesn't give you that, and it doesn't say anyone is anything really. It's just the two parties.
Mm-hmm.
And this could be another version of America where it's two vastly different parties, or they're not the same title, or whatever. It's never really kind of explained. But I do appreciate the fact that it is kind of nonpartisan, because it is an optimistic movie. It's a hopeful movie about an
Mm-hmm.
idealistic young senator coming to Congress with dreams of changing things, and kind
Yes.
of, and it starts innocently enough. All he wants to do is just found a national boys camp, which,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I got to question some of that, that desire to do that kind of a thing, just kind of knowing history with Boy Scouts and stuff like that. But, it's interesting to kind of show
Mm-hmm.
the kind of downward spiral, because this was made by Frank Capra, who is a legendary Hollywood director. But this was him kind of a little upset at a lot of the congressional deadlock that was happening at the time, where nothing was getting done because of party bickering and other sorts of,
Mm-hmm.
basically what happens in this movie.
Yes.
So it's really interesting that, honestly, in almost 100 years, hasn't changed.
Nope.
And in many ways has gotten worse. So it's really interesting that this is both ahead of its time and honestly of its time.
Yes.
But what did you think about, basically the kind of things that I brought up, like any other thoughts to add on to that?
No, I just like how, like I said, he's a little person in a big town now. But I love how thrilled he is to be in Washington and to see the historical part of Washington as well. You get a little bit of trips kind of around Washington as well with Mr. Smith, and it really shows that America was built on for the people. Whatever Abraham
By the
Lincoln
people,
says.
for the people, of the people.
Yeah. And he just wants to kind of stick that to the government that he is with right now, and show him that he's not just going to back down because other people say mean things about him in the paper and stuff like that, which I thought was a very interesting, not turn in this movie, but felt very real. Getting false information to the newspapers, and some people try wanting to tell the truth to kids, and then they get into a car accident, which is absolutely horrible. Kids should not be driving, and it wasn't even the kid's fault that did the car accident. But it's that kind of stuff where, like, the political parties kind of bicker and say who's lying, who's telling the truth. I really enjoyed that as well, because it showed that, even like you said, till this day we are doing the truths and the lies still, even, gosh, so many years ago that this movie came out. But it felt like when we were with Mr. Smith, a lot of the time it felt so grounded with like the president in the Capitol Dome and everything like that. It felt not elevated, but the president and the people around Mr. Smith felt like they were higher up than Mr. Smith, even though Mr. Smith is a part of the Senate. Even though he's new, he still should be treated equally, but he's not because of how new he is.
There's definitely a tenure thing, right? The longer you've been there, the more not mature you are, the more experienced you are, the longer your history, the definitely more like looked up to you are, within your own party, or even sometimes across party lines. And I think that they do a good job of that. I think also Claude Rains is really good here. I mean, I think it's hard for Claude Rains to be bad.
Yeah.
Because he's such a good actor. It is interesting because his accent definitely comes through sometimes, and you're like, you're not an American.
Yeah.
Which is really funny to me. I mean, which is, to be fair, you don't have to be to be a senator. You don't have to be born in America, because we have immigrants that are senators all the time.
Yeah.
So like it makes sense that he could just be, an immigrant or immigrant family or whatever. This takes place in the 30s, so we're at Ellis Island times, right?
Yeah.
But I think he's really good here. I think Jean Arthur, who plays his assistant that he ends up falling in love with, is okay. I think she's fine.
She kind of shines for me when he's into the courtroom trying to help him out. I really enjoy that part about her character.
Much better at the end of the movie.
Because it shows that she knows what she's kind of talking about, and that's why she is his assistant. But I love how she doesn't try to interrupt him. She tries to get Mr. Smith to be his own character. Just a little bit of guidance is what I got from it.
yeah, it's
Mhm.
it's good.
Yeah.
I want to say though, I think that I do have a little issue. I think this movie gets a little tedious and a little slow paced in the second act of the movie, like right around the middle. It was a
Hmm.
little hard to pay attention. It was just a lot of legal mumbo jumbo and then
See, you say that.
patriotic fervor.
You say that, but I watched it one day, cut it in half because I think I was doing something that night that day. So I cut it at like an hour and 1 minute. So it was like for me, it was perfectly paced because I just picked it up right after, and I was like, oh, I know exactly what's going on, kind of
Sure.
just like that. So but
Well,
yeah, I can.
when watching it as God intended. No, I'm
Yes,
kidding.
not pausing it and going to bed and then watching
Yeah,
it
not
again.
having a life. It definitely feels a little slow in the beginning, but I think it picks back up again as soon as he starts becoming more active and vocal in Congress, and then
Mhm.
obviously it leads up to his filibuster, which is absolutely the best part of this movie and best part of his performance.
His performance is amazing. I mean, just the way back in the day they thought of how tattered and tired he should look while he's talking for 24 hours straight. I think he got there close to that number. But and then he passes out in the end. But that's what would happen if you just keep talking and talking and talking. Your suit would come undone a little bit, his tie's a little bit messy, his hair's crazy, which I thought that was fantastic. His hair wouldn't be nice and slicked back like it used to be when he first got to Congress and started talking about it. But yeah, his performance during that segment is absolutely fantastic. I really enjoyed him just listening to him talk about the same thing that he's not the same thing, but he's been talking about throughout this entire movie when he gets to Congress is everything that's going on. But it's just it hits so differently for some reason.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it's. I think that it starts good, gets a little saggy in the middle, and then gets really good at the end.
Yeah.
But even
Hmm.
then, like it's still good stuff happening in the middle. I'm not saying it's like bad stuff. I just think that the pacing kind of just dips a little bit. It's
It
a
trickles
little,
down.
yeah. Although I had no idea he was just going to go on a rampage of punching reporters through the middle of
Oh,
it.
yeah.
That was hilarious.
Hmm.
I mean, not the worst thing I've ever seen a senator or government representative do, but
Do.
you know, I mean, like, hey, our government's led by pedophiles and protects them, so I've seen worse.
Yeah.
But I definitely like. I don't really have a whole lot else to say here. I think it's just really good movie. I would say that it actually does give you some hope that things could change. I think a lot recently for me has happened where I'm like, where I'm just like, I just don't have any hope for the future of this country.
Hmm.
And a movie like this, even though it's almost 100 years old, does make me go, you know what? Maybe there is someone out there who is going to have the balls to, you know, do the right thing and be the instigator of change.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
we'll see if that ends up happening.
Yeah, and we'll never know. Maybe.
Alrighty, so this was my pick this week. I'm going to go ahead and just go first here. I think that this is a great film, a very hopeful and inspiring movie. Like one of the better like early political dramas I can
Hmm.
think of, without being party specific, which I really appreciate. I do think it sags a little bit in the middle, right before he becomes more vocal and active in Congress, which is when it starts really to take off, and especially his filibuster, absolutely incredible. James Stewart is just incredible as always. Love Mr. Stewart up to death.
Hmm.
Claude Rains as well. Again, as I said earlier, he could just rain down on me all day long. I love Claude. But I mean, yeah, I think it's a great movie. I gave it an 88 out of 100, which is equivalent to a 4 stars out of 5 on Letterboxd.
Nice. Yeah. So go off that. James Stewart is absolutely fantastic as Mr. Smith in this movie, and Jean Arthur gets a little bit better when the movie starts to kick up at the end of this movie because of his assistance and how she knows how Congress and the government works. But James Stewart it surprises me every single time with whatever movie we watch of how good he is, and he makes this movie and kind of makes it his own, with a lot of help with his other colleagues and stuff, but you're there for his performance. And I just love how he can get so much emotion out of just one city and about what is happening, especially during the later part of this movie, as when he's talking about doing his would you call it his speech?
Filibuster.
Yeah, filibuster. And how attention to detail this movie is as well. I really enjoyed that. And I'm not a government kind of guy. Like, I don't know the ins and out of the government, so seeing this and how old it is and how it's definitely gets you maybe not want me to get know more about the government and how it works, because we all know how that is. But it's just different times, but still the same outcome, I feel like, is what's happening here. But I absolutely enjoyed this movie. I gave this an 85 out of 100, which accumulates to 4 stars out of 5.
So we're very close. But this brings us to the end of the episode. Question now falls to you. What do you think of Mr. Smith Goes to Washington? We'd love to hear what you have to say down in the comments section down below. Just remember to be respectful of one another, because it's really not that hard. But next week we're continuing our July month-long theme of looking at movies from before the 1940s, and we're looking at the 1939 horror sequel, Son of Frankenstein, which we'll see how that is when we talk about it next week. But that's it for the episode. Of course, we have our live stream every single Wednesday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and we have this that goes live every single Friday at 4 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So thank you so much for watching, and until next time, make sure to keep those eyes on the screen.